questions to ask, right? I campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Yes, guys, welcome back to Eagle-Eyed Football. This is the Brighton match preview, and it's the one game we pick out in the calendar every year. Stop messaging me. Anyway, it's the one game we look out for in the calendar every single year, and I'm just excited. I feel like the result that we had on the weekend is making me feel a lot more upbeat for this game, and the more and more we look into it, Brighton do have their flaws. They're not perfect like what the media make out to be. However, I am joined here with Mr. Saint of Selhurst. Nicky, how's it going?
Things are going good, man. I think, as you just said, the result from the weekend, the draw against City, is really enthused the fan base going into this game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I get to go. I'm gonna go into the pub and watch it tomorrow. So yeah, feeling good about this game. Feeling good.
I am also joined here by the chairman. How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. As someone said to me at work today, it's Eve of our cup final. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely the Liverpool and Man City games are definitely instilled me with a little bit more confidence. I just hope we can raise our game again.
And finally, I'm joined here with Nate.
What are we saying, boys?
Don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? You want to be excited, but you can't be too excited.
There's also the fact that even at their worst, they're still better than us. So you're kind of thinking in your head, you want to be up for it. You want to think that every dog has his day, but boy, our recent record against these it's just not looking forward to it. I mean, we were kind of lucky to get a point in this game at Selhurst Park last season. The game at their place was what it was, but you never know. They haven't been as good as they were last season, so we could shock them and maybe shut them up for a little bit because, there's an order of things, and at the minute, everything's disrupted. But hopefully tomorrow goes to plan and we get 3 points. But I'll take a point if we can't get 3.
Yeah, definitely. I think first thing we need to talk about is what Roy said in his press conference. He has said that there are certain players that are going to be back. He said that Edouard is still injured. He said that Lerma is a very big possibility that he'd start. Eze is also a big possibility. He's most likely going to be able to start, but if not, he'll definitely feature. How big do you think those like Lerma and Eze coming back into the team will make into that starting 11, Nicky?
Well, Lerma, with Decore out, Lerma gives us stability and control in the engine room. He's someone who can go forward. He's someone who can track back as well, and he's a big physical presence in the midfield. With Eze back as well, it gives us someone who can run out wide, running through the centre. He is the perfect 10, in my opinion. Probably not the best 10 of the Premier League. Let's not go that far, but he's the perfect 10 for a Premier League team. And those two being back will certainly help the midfield. If Roy decides to perhaps start David Ozo, it gives David a chance. He's got 2 players there who know what's expected at this level, and he can rely on them to help him out as well. So yeah, it would be big experience boost for the midfield, and also 2 players who will be up for this in very crucial fixture for Palace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 very big players returning, but potentially a player that I think should keep his spot in that midfield would be those 2 paired with David Ozo. Chairman, do you think he should start, or do you think that it'll probably be a case where he'll feature in the second half?
I think, knowing Roy, as we know Roy, he will be on the bench. But personally, I think he deserves to start. I think the way he came on, the way he stood up to a much better midfield, I think, than Brighton have got. I thought he had an excellent game, and he looks really strong in the tackle as well. I mean, to be fair, if if Lerma just come back off a tight hamstring, why not leave him on the bench or give him another game? I think he'd or bring him second half. I think David Ozil deserves to start, but I know Roy and I can't see it personally.
Mm-hmm. Nate, what do you think? Do you think Ozil should start?
Similar to what the chairman said, really. I mean, look, if it was up to any of us, I would start him because he played a blinder away at City, and there is the element of he's young, he's inexperienced, but there's one thing he has that not a lot of players have, and that's he knows what this fixture means because he's one of us. He's been at the club since he was 8 years old, so he knows exactly what this fixture means. And let's be clear about this. As you said at the start of the show, this is the one you pick out when the fixtures come out. I don't care when we play Man United or Liverpool or any of that. What I want to know is when are we playing them, home and away? I understand if Roy doesn't pick him for the starting 11. I do understand because being young and being rash and maybe a bit full of passion on the night, his first big occasion playing in this fixture, it could go to his head and he could make a mistake and it could be costly. Or on the flip side of that, it could be the case of he rises to the challenge and actually puts in a massive effort and people are like, actually, hang on, maybe we don't need to sign another midfielder. Maybe we have one that's slowly starting to emerge from the academy. But if it was up to me, if I was picking the team, I would start him. But I could understand if Roy chooses to go with a more safer option, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. Going on to another standout performer, I'll go back to you again, Nate. I know that we was all cussing £20 million on a goalkeeper. I know it's one game, but that was one really good game, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know what? We were cussing it because we're looking at the way in which his injury came about. He only had a handful of touches in that League Cup game, and then he got injured. And we're all sat there thinking, the 20 million we've just spent on a goalkeeper, a good goalkeeper, don't get me wrong, but a goalkeeper when we still don't have a second left back, we're still looking for a right back that's got pace and can actually go forward. You know, we haven't replaced Wan-Bissaka or Patrick Van Aanholt since they left. So we're all thinking to ourselves, it's great that we've got Dean Henderson in. That's great. It gives Sam Johnston competition, and it definitely keeps Remy Matthews out of any contention for games. But I kind of get the feeling that 20 million could have been better used to fill in holes in the squad. But having said that, his performance on Saturday, apart from the 2 goals, which he couldn't really be held accountable for, he didn't put a foot wrong, and all credit to him. You know, because let's be clear, we don't spend this amount of money on goalkeepers. Usually we get them in on frees, Mandanda and Guaita as a reference. So me personally, with Sam Johnston injured, I think Dean Henderson's earned his spot at the minute because that's what you want in your goalkeepers. You want goalkeepers to be thinking, boy, if I make a mistake, I'm out of the team. Guaita didn't have that because he had a load of pancake hands behind him where he was like, oh, I'm not worried about it. I could let in a 45-yard worldie. I'm still in the team next week. Now, one mistake, and he knows, right, Sam Johnston, when he comes back, is going to be firmly, you know, on my case. So I think Dean Henderson was superb on Saturday. And look, granted, in hindsight, had this been a defeat, we may have been a bit less complimentary. But yeah, I thought he was brilliant.
Definitely. So with the similarities of how Brighton play and how Man City play, it is very similar, but there's just a completely different caliber of player. Chairman, do you think that we should play the same style that we did against Man City with that 5 at the back, or do you think we should switch back to a 4 and maybe be a little bit more attacking, assert ourselves a bit more than we did in the City game?
Yeah, I think Roy's philosophy is to stay in the game, isn't it? You know, he just gets to half time, doesn't he? And he bores the pants out of you, but gets to half time, gets it 0-0, and then you're in the game, isn't you? But it's just a bit negative when he's playing 5 at the back at home, isn't you? Because knowing they've got as many injuries as they've got, they're losing a lot of players. So are we, obviously. But I think that's what everyone expects us to do, and I think I expect us to do that. But it'd be great if we could actually turn it around and actually attack them. And I think we'd just shock the life out of them. We wouldn't know what the hell hit them. Do you remember, obviously, the first game he managed against Leicester, innit? When we had about 25 shots in the first half alone. No one was expecting that. And we sort of really pushed it back. But, you know, I think games are sort of, you set a tempo, didn't you? You know, and if you start off on the front foot, you end up on the front foot. But if you start off on the back foot, then you don't go, it's very hard to go forward. But I don't think he'll go back 5, but I can see him playing Richards in midfield again. And that's like having a back five when we're defending, isn't it? Because he sits so deep.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that that Richards definitely deserves to keep his spot, even if he does have to go back into midfield again?
Well, the thing is, though, obviously we haven't got the trained eye, have we? But when we watch him, you think, well, what does he do? You know, he wins a couple of tackles. He can't pass more than 5 feet. There's no forward passes. But when you see the stats at the end of the game, when he's won 9 out of 10 headers, he's won 6 out of 7 tackles, things like that. That's what you need in there. The problem is we haven't got that progressive midfielder. We've now got back because Eze's now fit again. The one that can pass forward. So maybe if we paid Eze back in the 10, he could say to him, just pass to Eze and let him get on with it. So maybe he'd actually look a better player. I mean, there's been plenty of players like that who played in midfield who couldn't really do anything, but they just tackle, break up, play, and you know. But I think it'd be very similar to Man City, to be honest here. I'm not going to say David Ozo's going to start, but I think it'll be very similar to set up to Man City. But I think it'll be more like 4 at the back, Richards in midfield, but when we're defending, he sort of drops back and makes it look like a 5. That's what I think will happen.
Nicky, so you saying, so after Chairman saying what you think Roy will do, what do you think is the best way to tackle this game? Do you think that we should go at them, or do you think that if we go at them, it'll be a case of Spurs again, where if we overextend ourselves too far, they'll just play around us and score? How do you think that we should set up this game? Not what Roy thinks. How do you think we should set up for this game?
Well, look, we've got 2 London derbies following this game coming up on the Boxing Day fixture and on the 30th being against Chelsea and Brentford respectively. So, you know, we're not out of this terrible run just yet. December is always a difficult month, especially with our level of squad depth. I think if the opportunity is there to take the game by the scruff of the neck, of course you should do it. You know, I don't want to see us sit back personally. I want us to go for this game. You know, this would really do well for both the club and for Roy to at least get a win here. Don't worry about Chelsea and Brentford. A win here goes a long way because of the opposition. Because it is Brighton, a win here goes a very, very long way for the fan base, for the club, for everyone. And plus, it's at SELHURST as well. So, you know, this would be, you know, the Christmas present, you know, for all the Palace fans who are going to the game and who are watching the game.
Yeah, I think getting a win at home is going to be very important, and that's just sort of a little, I guess, something we need to get off our back because we haven't actually beaten them at home in 5 years. Granted, that is draws and lost. That we have got some draws, so it's not the end of the world. But it's been 5 seasons, man. Like we need to. Like I know they've beaten us a few times at their place, but our form against them at home just hasn't been it really. Like I remember under Vieira, there was that famous "Why'd you let it bounce?" happen for both teams, Sanchez and Mark. So you know we've got like there's something hanging over our shoulders a bit in this fixture. Do you think that maybe that's going to play on the players' minds a bit, or do you think that they're professional enough to just forget about that and see it as a completely new game?
I reckon looking at it from the players' point of view, I think you know you are going to see history play up a little bit, but these are 2 brand new teams. Like Brighton themselves have gone under a rebuild. You know, the Chelsea money taken off half of their players has seen them well. You know, they're looking very, very good in Europe right now. It has to be admitted. It has to be said. They're looking pretty good. And I just hope that this is a chance that we can sort of like bring them back down to earth a little bit, you know, just sort of like ruin their party a bit. And I think professionalism will obviously play a part, and, you know, all the players aren't going to lose their heads. Like this isn't going to be, you know, fighting in the street kind of rubbish, but this is going to be a very physical match because of, I think the fans will make it so, because once the fans start chanting and everything, and once everyone gets into it, then yeah, both sets of players are going to be really, really up for it, and it could get spicy. But yeah, I'm just hoping that the players keep their heads and just knuckle down with the task.
Yeah. Well, Nate, I'll ask you this one. Nicky said that this game's going to get spicy, whereas I would say that potentially without Wilf in our team, this could be it could well be a very dead game, because granted, Mitchell's probably the only, if Oza doesn't play, Mitchell's probably the only player in both teams that really, and he's gone. Guess what? I'll ask Chairman this same question. So with Zaha not there, this rivalry game isn't going to be. Nate, are you good?
Oh, he's back.
Is he good?
He's muted.
I can't get as he's not muted. I can't get as close to the camera as Rich can, because he proper goes.
Oh yeah.
No, I must have kicked myself out by accident. Sorry, JC. What's up?
Sorry, I'm just saying, hold this, please. Basically, with Zaha not being in the team, and Mitchell probably being the only player in both teams that actually know what this game really means, do you think it could be a very dead game as well? Like, it just could be any ordinary Premier League game for the players, or do you think that the club and the fans will instill in them that this is a very big game for both teams?
See, the funny thing is, we have still got players that know what this fixture means, because the likes of Ayew, Eze, Mitchell, to a lesser extent, Elise, there are players who've played in this fixture for a long time that will know what it means. So, yes, the fact that Wilf isn't there and Wilf knows everything, because obviously he was there for arguably the biggest game between us before we both got promoted, which was the playoff semi-final, which it feels like it was only yesterday, but it was actually over 10 years ago, which goes to show you how much time has passed. I do hear what you're saying. It could be seen as a dead game to the neutrals, because everybody's like, Alice Brighton, why is this on TV? It's not even a derby, it's a rivalry. And it's true, it's not a derby. Never has been, never will be. But I think because we don't have Wilf there, and it's no longer just a Wilfried Zaha show, it's now a chance for the players we do have to step up and be the new person to lead the line, because we didn't see much of França, so can't really expect him to hit the ground running just yet, although he did burn Kyle Walker, which, you know, not many people can say they've seen a player on their team do that, because Kyle Walker is one of the best fullbacks in the league. But with this game,
even in the world at the moment.
Yeah, but with this game, the players will know it's a big game, because there's nothing like when we play these lot. You can feel it hours before the game kicks off. You can just feel it in the air that it's the big one. You know, it's all well and good playing Chelsea at home or Arsenal away or any of that. Any local London derby, it's all well and good. But there's a big difference between playing the likes of Brighton and Millwall and the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal and Chelsea, you don't really care. Unless you work with Arsenal fans or Chelsea fans, you never hear the end of it. But when it's Brighton or Millwall, you're thinking, yeah, this is win only. Anything other than a win, and it really could muck up your whole week. But with the way we've been against them, as you said, at home the last couple of years, I think it's last time we won was 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
When Zaha scored a brace to win it for us, I think he scored his only header.
Yeah, and Tompkins scored as well, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So that shows you how long ago that was. I think that was their first season in the Prem, actually. And Murray scored against us. It was like, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't think he knew how to feel when he scored. He sort of celebrated and kind of didn't at the same time. He kind of clocked, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that here, actually, because, yeah. He was in front of the Homestead as well, funnily enough. But, yeah, it's a weird one, because as fans, we don't need an excuse to be up for it. We know what this game means, but those players, they'll feel it. For Selhurst Park, when we play these lot, it's not like a normal home game, because the emotions are going to be charged up to the max. You know, the anticipation and the frustration if things don't go our way will be charged up as well. I mean, hopefully it's not as bad as the Bournemouth game, where you could feel a lot of fans' anger was really starting to hit the pitch, but hopefully it's better than it has been because, as you said, some of the results against them lot at home, it's just been bad, man. I mean, the year they did the double over us, that was painful. That hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Chairman, have there been any really notable moments that you can remember in recent history or in your whole time supporting Palace of Palace Brighton?
Let me just read out a couple of things I found out today, which obviously build up to this game. Obviously, the last 4 home games have all been finished 1-1, and obviously, as Nate said, we won 3-2 in April 2018, so that's quite a long way ago. We've lost 4 consecutive home games now, which is the worst since 2016. And we've already equalled last season's 5 home defeats. We've done that already before Christmas. That ain't bad going, is it? We've only scored 1 first half home goal this season. Anyone remember what that was?
Everton.
Correct. Eze's penalty in the 5th minute. Our last 10 games, we've won 1, drawn 3, lost 6. We've played 5 midweek games this season, drawn 1, lost 4. But on the bright side,
There's a bright side?
Yeah, just a small one. Brighton haven't kept a clean sheet now for 21 games, of which they've conceded 38 goals.
Yeah, that you know, I actually know this one. You know when their last clean sheet was in May?
No idea. Was it really 21 games ago? But they've got a Europe high of 18 goals 18 goals scored by substitutes this season, which is a Europe high. And they've got 99 appearances by teenagers. We've probably got 1, haven't we? But I mean, yeah, I can remember. I mean, there's been a few games. I mean, Palace Brighton games, obviously. I mean, the biggest game, obviously, was the playoff final down there. But then we have to remember the 5-0 Andy Johnson's hat trick. And there's also one, if we go a bit further back, with Ian Wright under Steve Cobble. We were given 4 penalties in 1 game and missed 3 of them. And Brighton's goal, we won 2-1, and Brighton's goal was a penalty as well. 5 penalties in 1 game, yet we managed to miss 3 of them. So, but there's been some great. I mean, all been good games. Obviously, there's been the odd game that's been a bit of a dull fest. But I suppose, to be fair, looking very recently, we might have drawn the last 4 home games, but I think Brighton have pretty much outplayed us for most of them games. And we've got I mean, there was that great meme, isn't it? Wasn't it a couple of years ago where we beat them away, drew at home, and they had something like 70 shots and 80% average possession, and we had like 3 shots and managed to score 3 goals, isn't it? So they do actually, but I think our football was getting better anyway. We've got better quality players now. Hopefully, we can stop that.
Mm-hmm.
But
if I remember correctly, I think Dan said it to me on Tap Seagull either before we started streaming or afterwards. He said that this is the most. Well, I know. I think it was you, Chairman, wasn't it? I think it was. It's the most even fixture of all time. I think we've played. I think Palace have won 40 times, Brighton have won 41 times, and we've drawn 35 times.
Yep.
So it's so equal.
It's one of those special fixtures where all the numbers are just there. Like
it could go either way.
Yeah.
But Brighton's the same as Watford, I think, because we were both in Division 3 South. We were both in the 2nd Division and the 4th Division together. We've played them so many times over the years. Really have done, so...
I think my favourite memory was when Nate was introducing me to okay, you're a Crystal Palace fan now. This is our rival. This is our rival. He showed me a YouTube video that is just famous now of Glenn Murray scoring, and Nate knows this one. Is the birth of, for bleep's sake, Murray.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I can go back to that video any day on any given time and laugh my socks off because it is just so perfect. It's a perfect story with Glenn Murray. He plays for Brighton so many times, comes to us on a free. We beat them for we end their undefeated streak in the Championship at their stadium, and then we kind of mistreat him, and he goes back to Brighton. Thanks, Pardew. Thanks.
And then to Watford.
Let's not forget if you go back to the playoff final, they were massive favourites, wasn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they played us off the park in the first game, the 0-0 when Murray got injured, and really, you know, who shit on the floor, isn't it? That's probably what turned the game, wasn't it? Because we were so pissed off with that. And they came out fighting, didn't it?
Yes, the fact that we found out what really happened after that,
Exactly.
and they got the blame for it, and it was actually the Palace coach driver.
Yeah, exactly. But we didn't know at the time, did we?
He must have had a dodgy Vindaloo.
I'm not being funny though. But I'm sorry, but if a coach pulls up, who's the last person to get off the coach? It's the coach driver, isn't it? The players get off first, don't they? I don't remember seeing the coach driver run off and then run down into the stadium, would you? There's toilets on the coach at the end of the day, isn't it? So I think that's more, maybe that's a story they put around. Maybe it was Gus Poyet.
Still funny though. It's still hilarious.
It is very funny, yeah.
Let's go into some comments. So,
Yes.
UK Pat, big up yourself. He said, big up the GOAT, Don Chatterjee, the CEO of Charity Professional Football Club Movement, and his brother Hooper sacked.
Oh yeah, yep. Steve Hooper sacked.
Mm-hmm.
Big up Nick saying, evening chaps. Seki here saying, big ups. My prediction is 1-1. Henderson and our spine will keep us in it. Shock Ozo start with Lerma. I hope so. My prediction's 1-1 as well, to be fair. Big up Damo. When I watch us and we pass back, groans out loud, verbally violent.
Pause.
That's the way that I think is the best way to put it. That this game will be verbally violent
from both fans and players and refs.
Oh yes,
it's gonna be a shit
It's gonna be a mad one.
It's gonna be a madness.
It's not a derby; it's a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall me ever saying it's a derby. I'm sure I said rivalry every single time. Who's all back from the injury list? Eze's back, Lerma's back, but Decore's still out, Edouard's still out, and
Ward is out.
Yeah, Ward's out as well.
Ferguson's doing his Christmas shopping, isn't he?
I think he's had that done. I think he's had his Christmas shopping done for a while, to be fair.
No, him and Rob Holden have been helping each other out.
Big up King TV, and lastly Rob at work gonna rewatch later Up the Palace. Big up yourself, Rob. All right, let's go through and do this combined 11. Before I do that, I'm gonna read through Brighton's injuries so we know who to pick or who's fit to play. So Ansu Fati is out, Estepinian is out, Webster is out, Lamptey is out, and Cisco is out, Veltman is out, and Solly March is out.
Who have they got then?
Well,
I don't know any other player they've got. They've sold all the others, haven't they?
The great thing is, just quickly, you see that Solly March guy? I'm so happy he's injured. Because that guy is an absolute. I'm not going to say it because it's not. I can't say that now. But he's the one who got the winning goal when we played them at their place last season. And
half an hour more, Nate. You can say it. Half an hour more. You can say that name.
No. But you know where it's going because Nicky knows how I feel about their players. It's not complimentary when it's this lot. But we've got to be taking advantage of them having some key defensive injuries because Estepinian and Veltman and Webster, that's massive for them to lose those kind of players at the back.
And Lamptey as well.
Yeah, Lamptey as well. But like I said, we need to be taking advantage of that. Obviously, they have got players that can step in and fill in, but you'd like to think if there's ever a time to play them when they've got problems, defensively, it's now.
Yeah.
Because we're off the back of a very good performance, but a disappointing defeat against Liverpool at home, and a very, very massive point away at Man City. And if there's ever a game the fans will want you to win, doesn't matter how we win, only that we win. It's this one.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I think everyone has gone for a win. For a draw. Sorry, JC. I think everyone from Eagle Eye Football except Rich. Rich is the only hopeful one of us in the predictions league. He's gone 2-1.
Well, I think what Nate said is bang on there because that's what me and Dan definitely clocked onto very quickly when we was doing Tact Eagle. That, for example, they love to play out of the back. Like they'll even if there's an easy route out, they'll still pass around the back. But they've got key injuries in very crucial areas, like their right back, their left back. Like they play Milner at left back, and we know even at Liverpool you couldn't hack it at left back, but they play him at left back now. And some of their centre backs, like they ain't got Caicedo anymore. It's Gilmore, and like they're just not physically. They're not actually a physically strong team anymore. They're very technical, and as I said to Dan, I think that for De Zerbi, defending is an afterthought. So if we're strong and physical, we could walk all over these guys in midfield. We really can, because who's their midfield? It'll be what, Gilmore, Pascal Gross, and Lallana. None of them are very strong. Probably Gross is the only one that you could say could stand up to him, but Lallana is only a 60-minute man. Gilmore is tiny. But we're going to go into this combined 11. We're going to, as we normally do it, you've got to have at least 3 players, and everyone in the first time going around has to be fit to play. I'm going to be bold and put Henderson in goal, because I've never rated Steele. And their other goalkeeper, even their fans don't like him. Nicky, we'll go left back with you.
Well, it's going to have to be Tyrick Mitchell for me at left back.
Yeah, I think they only play Igor at left back if it's not. But who's Igor? Igor. Oh, Milner. Do you want a Milner?
No, I'll take Mitchell. Thank you very much. I did not know. I think Verbugen, he's their other goalkeeper. I think he's only had like the couple appearances, but he's had mares.
Yeah, even a Brighton fan at work, and he hates him.
Like, what was it? I think was it Brentford at the Amex? I can't remember. He had an absolute horrid time because he came out like he tried to do a Neuer, came all the way outside of his box and just got lobbed. Hilarious.
Nate, we'll go with one of the centre backs.
Mark Gay. I'm not saying the other guy's name because I'll have to disinfect my own tongue. I'm not saying his name, but it rhymes with junk. I'm not saying his name. Can't do it.
Chairman, who is the other centre back you would choose? And bear in mind, we have to get at least 3 Brighton players.
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, I think you've got to put him in, innit? Because I think he's probably the next thing they got the John Terry, isn't it?
Plus, he's the only fit defender.
Exactly. So I would have put in. She said no, Lewis. She said no.
Hey, it is what it is, bro.
Again,
you know what I'm saying? Agendas after agenda.
Now I feel like I've got the hardest spot, man. Who goes right back? Because they ain't got no right backs. They're all injured.
Who is their right back? I've got no idea.
Their right back's Veltman, but he's injured.
Lamptey's injured.
Ward's injured.
Natty Klein.
It's gonna have to be Klein.
That is outrageous.
They may play Milner right back, isn't it?
No, I think they'll play one of their kids. They've got what's his name? Hiddles something.
Hinshelwood.
Yeah, he actually
Martin Hinshelwood, yeah, ex-Paddy's player's son, isn't it?
I thought he went out on loan.
How do I spell that?
It's right there at the bottom.
Yep.
There we go.
I could have sworn because on the latest Football Manager like transfer updates, he got loaned out. He's not there anymore.
Are you sure? I'm sure he played the last game. Do you want to just put Klein in there just to be safe?
I'll look him up. 1 sec.
We've got to find number 2 Brighton players.
Hinshelwood. Oh no, he is still currently there. Sorry. I must have been looking at. No, sorry, I was looking at. It's his brother who's got loaned out.
There we go. All right. Cool. Nicky.
Yes.
DM.
I don't. I'm split between Lerma and Ozo.
Their one is either Dahoud, Gilmore, or Belieber.
Mahmoud Dahoud has not been good. I don't know why he left Dortmund to go there.
Belieber's good though, very good.
I'm gonna go Lerma. Lerma for me.
Nate, who is one of your midfielders?
Pascal Gross. We have to get some of their players in here, so he actually is pretty good.
It is a
So,
good player, yeah.
Chairman, the other one?
Has to be Eze, doesn't it?
Yeah. Has to be. I'll take an easy one because I want an easy way out. Nicky, striker.
Evan Ferguson, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so happy he won't play for England. That makes me very happy that he'll play for the Republic.
Fantastic talent.
Nate, who you put in on the left wing?
Jeffrey Schlupp. I mean, what?
Hey!
For the record, I did not say that was the Saint of Selhurst. Disclaimer. I did not say Jeffrey Schlupp. Good question.
I would say it's probably one of two for me. It's either Matoma or Adingra.
He's injured, Matoma, really?
No.
No, he's not injured. He's just been shit. Sorry for that.
No, I thought I saw a couple of days ago that he's out. He's not playing.
No, Fatty's out.
No, I thought Matoma wasn't playing either.
No,
there was strong rumours that Matoma was suspended, but he's only on 4 yellows.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Even though he hasn't been great this season. How many Brighton players have we got in this so far? 2, 3.
3, yeah.
We've got our 3. So I would say the ones that we go for probably here would be for Brighton would be Adingra, what's his name? Buonanotte,
yeah.
and Matoma. I'll probably go Adingra. He's playing very well this season.
Adingra, because it hurts me to pick some of their players, but really, it has to be real here.
What we have to remember is that a lot of these players, because so much of both Palace and Brighton have got a lot of AFCON nation teams, we're going to lose a lot of these players next month. It's going to be great.
We're blessed that we're only losing Ayew and Schlupp, though.
Schlupp didn't get selected, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, that's the point.
So I think Schlupp stays. But Decore is injured, so that doesn't matter.
Going nowhere.
So he's going nowhere.
Do we have any other African players?
I think Ayew. Is Ayew retired?
No, he got selected.
Oh, okay.
I think those are only 2 African players,
Mind you, we did convince some guy last year, 2 years ago, that Will Hughes was Nigerian, didn't we?
How did you not swing that?
Do you want to know the worst part about it? He actually believed us for a solid 3 weeks.
That's mad.
Genuinely, we're like, oh look, because
is that Nigerian international?
Yeah, because I think that was the year when Kouyaté, Zaha, I think half our team was gone.
Yeah,
and
Schlupp,
Schlupp. I think Kouyaté as well. Good lots of our players. And then he's like, oh, at least we have Will Hughes. So he's like, no, he's Nigerian international. He's like, serious? Like, yeah, man, it's really bad.
Oh no! Oh god!
All right, so let's go through this again, and we'll make it for if everyone's fit. So I think straight away, Estepinian's going in there.
Yeah.
100%.
Veltman's going in there.
Yeah.
Gross in the bin.
100%.
And then we go like that, and then you probably go like that.
And Fatty, yeah.
Are we in agreement?
Yeah, definitely. Can you imagine if Brighton do play Milner at left back? That means he'll be playing up against Elise,
Michael Elise.
Elise is gonna cook him.
It's going to be ridiculous, isn't it?
Oh,
he could get sent off actually, because he'd be hacking him down, wouldn't he?
I reckon
he likes to send it off at Selhurst Park because he got sent off when he played for Liverpool.
I remember, I do remember that.
I reckon Milner's pretty intelligent. Based on experience, he will obviously we'll have to try and play physical with Elise, which could lead, to a couple yellows and everything. I don't think it will be glaringly obvious that Elise is just gonna like breeze right past him. So
No.
but I am really looking forward to seeing.
It'll be an interesting match, wouldn't it?
Bye. Be Roadrunner settings.
What's going to be funny is if Lewis dunks anywhere near the Holmesdale Road end, because he's just going to get a torrent of abuse.
Yeah, well, he doesn't it? Doesn't matter where he's on the pitch, is it? He's going to get it, isn't he?
Yeah, lots of booze and a lot of songs of.
No, but the last time he was giving it the big one to the Holmesdale, so they won't have forgotten that.
No.
It's one thing to do it to the family stand like Mopey did, because he was a little, well, I won't say it, but like, if you're cupping your ears at the family stand, that's pathetic. But Dunk was giving it the big one to the Holmesdale, so I'm like, big man, you know what you're doing? This ain't the family stand. We move.
I'm here for the shit house, Ray. I'm here for it. Like I know it's opposition teams, but I'm here for the shit. I'd love a bit of shit housery from opposition and from home.
Because I think when they scored last time, I think he was giving it some to like the whole half away as well, wasn't he? He was shushing them all as he ran up to celebrate.
It was ballistic.
But this is what we're saying, isn't it? That if they've lost both fullbacks and they're both going to be old and slow, then I know he won't do it, but that's an ideal time to play França and Elise, isn't it? Just raw pace on the wings, and then you're getting behind them all the time, isn't it? So
yeah,
the trickery from Elise and França, if they're unleashed, it could be madness. It could be a madness.
Absolutely, yeah.
It won't happen, but if it did happen, I'd be thinking, "Oi, we're onto something here."
You never know.
It could be
Nicky, it's Roy Hodgson. Unless that man has an aneurysm, it ain't happening.
No chance.
And for the record, I'm not wishing for the man to have an aneurysm, just to be clear. But he'd need to have some kind of aneurysm or epiphany for him to actually try and play a bit of attacking football.
Mateta could be the first Palace player to score 3 in 3 games on the trot since Lord Benteke back in 2016.
Oh yeah, watch out for the corner posts. I think Mateta.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if that happens, we won't be hearing from Sean. He'll be in the stratosphere.
Exactly.
That man was going bananas after the Man City game.
I think that one thing that probably needs to be said about this game is that yellow card suspensions are definitely going to play a factor because Anderson's on 4. And he's probably one of the players that we really don't want to be missing in the upcoming games. So do you think potentially it'll be better for him to maybe get that yellow in this game and then miss a Chelsea game? Or do you think, how do you think we should play that, Chairman?
No, 100%. 100% let him miss the Chelsea game because our record against Chelsea is worse than against these. We don't expect to get anything from Chelsea. So if he picks up a yellow tomorrow, yes, it'll be annoying to lose him. But if you'd offered me getting back for Brentford, that's 100%. I'd take that over anything.
I don't think he does it massive really now. I think Richards is more than capable of playing centre half. So I say to him, go out and play your game. If you get booked, you get booked. If you don't, then fine. Because if he does get suspended, I think Richards is a pretty poor fullback. I think he's a very average centre midfield player, but he is a very, very good centre half as he proved last year. So if he sits in now, I've got no problems with that at all.
I reckon, yeah, I agree. Take the hit,
just play your game. If you get booked, you get booked. And we know what Anderson's like. He'll get in, especially like their players. He'll get into it like they did with Nunes, isn't it? He won't stand back. So
plus, while it's never been condoned, and like even like this was a joke that I think Jose Mourinho started getting booked right before Christmas.
Neymar did it for years, didn't he?
Exactly. I don't condone it, but I do approve of it. Okay,
exactly.
You get your Christmas off.
I don't condone it, but I see your game. I recognise your game.
If he wants to take out a Brighton player, get that yellow card, I approve. He gets full on approval. Mitch says they'll bring on some 17-year-old they scout from some country I've never heard of, who'll then score a worldie. It kind of does sound like Nate's foundation. Really does, there, doesn't it?
Yeah. If I could play the advert, I could, but we can't.
Yeah.
I think that a good talking point before we get our score predictions in would be here. Are we taking Cooper now with Roy's turnaround? What I'll do is I'll go around the table. What I would say is, if Cooper is the plan at the end of the season, not now. But I don't want it to be the plan. I don't want Southgate to be the plan. But if Cooper was going to come in, I'd rather it be at the end of the season. Nicky?
I agree with you there, JC. Spot on. I think bringing in a new manager will be critical at the end of the season. It's just a case of where we are at the end of game 38. Once the season's done, then we can assess, okay, are we in a position to push? Are we in a position just to, just to stabilize? Because, do I want Cooper? No. I'd rather just somebody completely new. Oh, the choices are just depressing.
Yeah. To be fair, I agree with this. No now and no at the end of the season.
I'd want it to be somebody else, but it needs to be the right person. This can't be rushed. We can't just rush the decision and have Parish or whoever makes the choice just be like, oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah, Chairman, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. One thing about Cooper is that he spent millions and millions of pounds at Forest and still couldn't get a tune out of him, and he ain't going to get that sort of money at Palace. So don't really see the sense in sacking Roy to bring someone who hasn't won in 10 games or something. But no, don't rock the boat. Keep Roy in the season. I think you can really sit back in the season and make a judgment, isn't it? Because you've got a month to make a judgment, isn't it? If you sack someone mid-season, you've got to be replacing them double quick. But there's other people I'd prefer than Steve Cooper, like Paulo Fonseca or something like
that. 100%. Nate, finally, what do you think?
To be honest, I'm in agreement with the chairman and Steve Cooper. A couple of years ago, when Roy first left, you probably would have said maybe, but like I'm in the same train of thought as Nicky. I just want someone new because it's better to start fresh, where hopefully the manager will look at a lot of these players and start to get rid of them. Because let's be clear, as I've said time and time again, there's a number of players that should have been moved on 1, 2, maybe 3 years ago. Think about the players we've missed out on because we're still loyal to players who realistically should have been moved on ages ago. I mean, had we pushed a little bit harder, we maybe could have got a Jared Bowen. And there's no guarantee he would have been as good for us as he is for West Ham. But do you see what I'm saying? We've been so loyal to the Jordan Ayew's and the Christian Benteke's and players of that ilk. We're missing out on players that could easily kick us on to the quote-unquote next level that Steve Parish mentioned at the end of last season, which I don't know if I don't know if he's going to be able to fulfill that quote there. But I'd look for a new name in the summer, personally speaking.
Cool. Finally,
just one thing, JC. I think it's a massive appointment because with the likes of De Gea and Anderson and Elise and Eze, who could all and Decore, who could play at a much higher level than Ballas. No disrespect to us. I think the next manager appointment is massively important. If you get someone a bit nothing and crappy, and they're going to go around and say, "Well, I'm not having another year in this. See you later."
Yeah.
So you need an appointment that inspires them as well.
Yeah, but I feel like there must have been some sort of promises made, because Eze and Elise, I don't feel like they would have signed that long term of a contract if they didn't know like the coming plans in a year. Because I know as well as you guys know that they're not lasting that whole length for that contract. There's no way. They're going to last the end of this season and the end of next season, and then they're gone. They must have some sort of insight of what's happening next season, and it must be something that they're happy with. So I'm just hoping that it's something that Mark Gay is happy with, to sign another contract, Chet Decore to sign another contract, for example. Those are players that we need to keep get the best out of them, move them on, and then replace them. And I know that as Palace fans and us as a club, we don't like selling people. We like to get a good player, absolutely, just like get everything out of them and then let them go. Because I had a saying, I had a saying, but it was a pause, so I didn't want to say it.
Is it not 9 o'clock yet?
You just want them to stay for a while and become legends like Zaha did.
Yeah, that's what the club will want. But what should really happen is sell them on and move them on and have a machine like Brighton. But we don't do that.
No. Can I just say sorry?
What I was going to say was going to be a massive pause.
I could tell. Off topic. I don't know if anyone has seen or go see after this. Go and watch Dominic Szoboszlai's opening goal at Liverpool West Ham. Rocket. Great goal. Mitch puts it perfectly. Any manager that comes in now is going to have a say in the January transfer window. We're 11 days from when the window opens. We're not getting a manager in now. All right. There's no point in getting in a manager now. So Roy's already said he's here to the end of the season. For better or for worse, that's the best option we've got. So, meh.
Yeah. Finally, let's do some score predictions. I said mine earlier. I think it's 1-1. I think just the history, draws. There's going to be a mistake somewhere. So, it's going to be a dead game. I'd love us to win, but I can't see. I see us losing probably more than us winning, but I'm going to go over draw because, it's Palace, isn't it?
I think everyone except Rich in the prediction has gone for a draw. As I said earlier, I've gone 2-2 because I reckon we're gonna get Mr. Corner Post. He's gonna score and he's gonna take both corner posts with him. To score a brace.
Is that a me brace or a real one?
That's a real brace. That's a real brace.
All right, Chairman.
Well, the last 4 games have been 1-1. I can see it being 1-1 again. But I think if Roy decides to be more attacking, then where's he gone? I know I'm boring, but bloody hell!
Oh my god!
It's the mouse again. It's the mouse again.
All I'm gonna say is payback's a bitch, JC.
It's the mouse again.
Now, what I was going to say was I could see it being 1-1, but if Roy is a bit more adventurous with his team selection, we could easily win 2-0. But I'm going to go 1-0.
Nate, speak now, or forever hold your peace.
All I'm gonna say is payback, mate.
We don't need to hear from Nate anymore.
VAR checked, red card.
Are you going to be nice?
Me? Nice? Never.
Never.
All right.
I'm crying.
Nate, what is your score prediction?
I think I said 1-1 in the predictions league, so I'm thinking it's going to be a draw as well. Because it's just revert to type, isn't it? Play Brighton, somehow scrape a draw, and some of our fan base will be twerking that it's a good result, even though a draw against them is never a good result.
Can I just say, as we're talking about predictions league, big up Nate, who's now just come from last into off bottom place. Well done, Nate. Well, good go, man.
Boo.
Who's bottom now, then?
Reed.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
Reed's now the only person left on 2 figures. She's on 98.
Okay.
Everybody else is on 3 figures now.
Yeah, but let's not get too carried away. It can change in a week. Remember,
Yeah.
so
Isn't it?
Well, I remember a certain person saying that they'll never be knocked off the top spot, and now look, they're like 15 points adrift. So
yeah, somebody was chatting the most at the start of the season, and all of a sudden they've gone quite quiet.
yeah, some green-haired twat Yeah.
Wait, it's 5-9.
Twat's not a
I
swear.
know, I'll allow that because he's spitting facts. It's all good. He's spitting facts. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who said that? I don't
Shocking
recall
behaviour, isn't it?
I don't know.
saying that.
Oh no, we've got the clips. We can run back the footage. We can go back and run back the footage.
Oh, of course, we can run it any day.
Well, wait, JC, wasn't somebody saying that they might be the outright winner if they keep it up? And we're all looking at them going, the talk is mad.
Yeah. I remember him saying that he's just going to pull away from us as well. I don't know if you remember that as well, Nate. Do you?
I remember that because he was saying that he's coming for the 2-time defending champ. Pause. And even the champ was looking at him going, big man, there's a difference between where I am and where you are. And the champ's not here today. So
and I seem to believe that he said if he doesn't win, he's doing another chip.
That is correct. He did say that.
I believe he did.
Evidence of that then, that there, please.
Oh, we can run back the footage. Don't worry, we'll get the evidence. Don't you worry.
Yeah, because that ain't ever was said.
Don't worry. I don't think. I don't think
you can see he's scared now, innit? Look at him.
I don't think it was footage, but it was definitely in the group chat. It was 100% in the group chat. But guys, thank you very much for watching. This has been emotional. I've kicked myself out. Nate's kicked himself out. Chairman's just sat here watching, and Nikki is getting cussed out. This is typical Eagle-Eyed Football.
It's another episode of Eagle-Eyed Football, folks. It's what you've come to expect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Discussion topic.
if I'm honest, I like the other one that was made. It's just clarted. I think that one was better.
Just clarted.
Anyway, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get a notification whenever we go live and whenever we drop a video. Transfer Weekly is coming back. 11 days to go. So watch out, really.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Will we buy anyone?
No, but
No,
there
exactly.
there is a rumor for an Argentinian winger, but he plays in a least phase position, so it's definitely not happening.
They ain't believe, is it?
Anyway, guys.
Listen, look. We know what our January window is already going to be. Klarna settings. That's all it is.
Loan and loan.
You understand? It's pure Klarna settings, bro.
Yeah, we're just trying to get our credit up to get a proper loan.
You know what I'm saying? Money Saver FC, fam. It's peak.
Penny pinching FC.
Fan cam tomorrow as well, guys. Join the lads at the fan zone after the game to get your thoughts in as well. Oh dear.
If we lose, your fan cams are cut to 1.5 minutes. Max.
I'm just swearing.
No. Can I just say the only persons who ran on is not here. The laboratory got closed.
Anyway, up the palace.
Always at the palace.
Egos! Big up. Egos!